Hey, welcome back guys to the Minecraft Military Force. This is Arsenal update number 6. But yeah, let's go check out on what's new. And by the way, all these maps are available for download. Links are in the description. So first of all, we're going to look at Myrhorod Airbase. You may have seen that YouTube short that I put out. This is basically a Ukrainian airbase, and I've built a lot of assets for this. And this is the apron area. It's actually in the middle of the base, so you can see over there that's the runway, and then there's going to be a radar thing in the middle. So it did take a lot of time to research what goes into this base. So here we have the typical Ukrainian Su-27 fighter jet. But they also have recently came out with this gray version, which I'm still working on, so it's not exactly complete. And it has those Ukrainian flags in the back. We also have one of these trucks. This is actually the old Soviet aviation fuel truck, the KrAZ-258 and the Tz-22. So yeah, this is actually a pain in the ass to find out because there's not many pictures of this for the Ukrainians. But anyways, next up, here we have the Ukrainian Su-24 fencer. Still need to work on that. And we have a F-16 Fighting Falcon with the Ukrainian markings on the tail and the wings. And also, by the way, in this airbase, you may notice there are these ball things over there. And I figured out that's actually where they put in between the landing gears. So the wheels, they're in the front and the back of it. So you have equal spacing. And we also have this line here and another line here. So you can see this aircraft is taxiing. And as long as this aircraft, and as long as the parked aircraft, they don't go over the line, then it won't hit it, I believe. Then next up, we have the APA-5D. So this is actually not a refueling truck, which I figured out it's a starter truck. So it's basically a generator to start the engines used by the Soviet Union, powering up to MiG-29 fighter jets. And there's another one with the folded up apparatus. And actually have this new design for an open cockpit, because in the airbase, you know, a lot of these cockpits do open up. So this is the design I came up with, ladder like that. And then here is actually an older Ukrainian flanker livery with the green nose. And this is actually still in service. There is actually a picture of one of these with an AGM-88 HARM missile. And I still need to work on this one. This is the L-39, the trainer aircraft. And here you can take a look at this KrAZ refueling truck. So this is actually a different color and markings. You can see the hose. It hooks up to the aircraft, which I believe they refuel back there. Now on the other parts of the base, start working on like the building layout here. And apparently this is where they have a fire truck, because airports, they have a fire station. And this is a Post-Machina Maz tanker truck made in Ukraine. And here's how the airbase looks like from far away. I really like the lighting systems and also the ramps here in the back. I did start expanding the base, so this goes all the way to the middle part. And I guess this is where the aircraft come for a landing, maybe here in the middle, and then they go back over there. And then I added the other side of the runway, and it basically looks like this. Says 22. And then here's the taxiway, and there's going to be some more of these aircraft parking. Another project I've been working on is the railway station in Kyiv. So here I have a KrAZ-4, which is Ukrainian train with some passenger carriage. This is a typical design, although there's so many different variations of it, which is kind of confusing. But yeah, it's going to be a basic train station. I don't know if I'm going to build the whole thing, maybe just the platforms. And right over here is the Ukrainian border from Belarus to Kyiv Oblast. So this is where the Russians, they invaded in 2022. And there's some footage released by the Russian military defense of their troops just moving on down this road. So you have a BMP-2. And I guess this is like some kind of fencing. And then we have, this basically says Ukraine and Ukraine. And they're using some T-72B3s. And yeah, going down this road, lots of trees over here. And there also is a Ka-52 flying low, I guess providing some covering air support. And if you go down this way, we actually have another Ukrainian border. And I plan to make this into an animation, so that's why I'm building all this. So here is also probably from the same area, because this is Kyiv Oblast as well. So maybe further down that road, it comes this road. And there's some CCTV footage right in around this location. You can see some BMPs, some T-72s, MTLBs, and there's even a TOS-1A thermobaric weapon. So we have a couple shops over here on the sides. So it's kind of hard to tell what's actually there just from one angle. And there's also like little bits of snow, because I guess it was snowing around that time. And here's how the convoy looks like from the front view. invading forces. Now I do have additional sets, like over here. This is also over, I think, around Kyiv. We have the Ukrainian MiG-29 flying overhead. And in the video, there's actually 2 of them, and I'm going to build like the little neighborhood here. And see, here's how it looks like from above. And also over here, we have the Ukrainian BMP-2 going over some barricades made by the rebels. And I think this is back in 2014. So I think outside Ukraine, most people don't even know about this, but apparently this is actually one of the famous events in the Donbass war. And it has the Ukrainian camouflage, a little bit of brown, and the flags waving in the wind. And I also added some vehicles to the arsenal. Again, there's going to be a download. So quite recently, I finished up the M109A6 Paladin. This is the US Army's self-propelled howitzer. And this is in the travel lock mode, where they lock the gun when you're transporting it. And over here, this is in the firing mode. So they basically have this basket in the back that folds up like that. And they also open up this back compartment like that. It's going to be replacing Sean's design. And over here we have the Australian Bushmaster PMV, or protected vehicle. So yeah, it's kind of like an armored personnel carrier, but more or less, but they have a slightly different classification. So basically this is actually used by the Ukrainian army in the Kyiv Oblast. So they have a triangle marking. And I have 2 of them. So the difference is this one just has a turret. A standard turret with machine gun here. There also is another gun here in the back. And they also have some cable cutters here at the front. Now over here, this one's actually the remote controlled weapon station one. So you can see this top part, it's a lot smaller than the other one. And it doesn't have that back machine gun. I've also updated the design of the Kamaz trucks. So there's actually 3 main types of Kamaz trucks I have here. So this is the standard 4350. So you can see mainly the design of the cab. It sticks out with this glass pane now. And I also have the 6x6 version right here. So again, new cab design. And also move the back wheels back a little bit so it is more accurate, and change it all to warped. And I also have the armored shelter one with the MM501. So actually made this a little bit longer because originally it was too short. So this is more accurate again. And I also have the older Kamaz. So the way you can tell from the older Kamaz and the newer Kamaz, this 4310, in the middle they have the center divider. And also the cab height is shorter as well as the length. So in comparison, you can see that one's fatter, this one's smaller. And here is the exhaust pipe. So it's a totally different design. It has like a little lid, while this one's like an L shape like that. So that was pretty interesting to learn about. And here it is with the Kung shelter like that. And then here just some fences around and benches inside. Now the last Kamaz truck over here, it's actually in between the old one and the new one. So it's kind of intermediate, the 43114. Now the way it's different, you can see the cab is taller right here. They also have a similar exhaust to the older one, but it's a bit taller going over the cab. And the cab itself is longer as well. So it's kind of mixing between this one and this one. And right over here we have some Belarusian MAZ trucks. So we have a 6x6 and the 4x4. These are actually used by Ukraine, but Bogdan actually licensed these from Belarus. And there was a bit of a scandal there because instead of buying, KrAZ trucks, which are Ukraine, they bought MAZ trucks. But the production was localized in Ukraine. But yeah, this is actually an interesting Soviet truck. I don't think I ever saw anyone else build this in Minecraft, but the cab is actually quite tall compared to like other ones like Kamaz or Zil or any other one. And then right over here we have the Tunguska, the 2S6. So this is an anti-aircraft gun and surface-to-air missile, Soviet design. This one is in the Z markings. But yeah, finally we perfected the design. So yeah, here's what it looks like with the radar up. Then here's like a blank one, maybe you can use for Ukraine. And we also have one with the radar folded down. And over here we have a Soviet fuel truck, the ATZ-5. It's on a Ural chassis, so you can use this to refuel military vehicles. And it also has some of the KrAZ, which I told you about before, the KrAZ aviation fuel trucks. So have actually 3 different designs, which you can use to refuel at the air bases. And next door is the APA-5D starter truck, which I showed you before. That is added to the arsenal. And I also finished up the Ukrainian army truck, the KrAZ from Kremenchuk, Ukraine truck design. So here I have a 6x6. Here's a look at that. Yes, there is. You can fit troops inside there. And over here, this is without the cover. So 6x6. But I also have the one with the 4x4. And here is how they look like, and they have different covers basically. And here I also updated the design of these Kamaz trucks, the new cabs. I also added the Kyiv Oblast offensive T-64 BV used by the armed forces of Ukraine. So yeah, they basically have this bonnet cage around it to protect from drones. So I thought that was a pretty cool design. And here's how it looks like with it folded down. So here again, this is the older Ukrainian Su-27 livery, and that will be in the Arsenal world as well. And I've also finished up the Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bomber jet, and this is used quite a lot in the war by the Russian Air Force, and I have it in 2 liveries, you know, the standard blue, and then we have the gray here in the back, and this can carry bombs and stuff. Now for the progress on the Nimitz aircraft carrier, here's how it looks like so far. So I did transfer more of that detail here, like the tower here, and also the placement of the elevator shafts. I added the markings around it. But I still need to figure out this doorway here, how that actually works out. To look at the side detail. And then here in the back, I started adding all the components here in the back. I transfer all this detail from this one. But I was told there's something wrong about this hole. So if you look here on the bottom, the keel should be pointy, but as you can see, this one, it's all round. So this needs a point. I'm also working on the Challenger 2 with the new cope cage armor, so this is using the Kyiv Oblast offensive. And I also started working on the T-84 BM Oplot, which is a pretty rare tank, but I decided to build it anyway since I'm building all the tanks. And then I also wanted a T-72B, but still working on that. And I also just released the world download for the Iraq military base map, which is updated with the new vehicles. And it's also a Java and Bedrock edition. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the update. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you hadn't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.